Okay, thank you very much, Chair, and really to welcome the committee here. I mean, it's great to see, I know Dr. Coleman-Noctor and Dr. Claire Hayes, both here as clinical psychologists, and Ms. Stella O'Malley, Ms. Mary Briotti, and again for the Ombudsman, Dr. Muldoon. I suppose it was really important when we had this meeting back on the 5th of November. I mean, it was the UN Day of Cyberbullying, and we got to also hear from the Anti-Bullying Centre in DCU on all of the systems and programs that they were looking at, and particularly they highlighted the FUSE program. So I suppose I might like to ask some of the members here just about the FUSE program, perhaps how to roll that out, which was, I think, to train teachers. It's only been going, as far as I'm aware, from September of last year. But as Dr. Noctor has said, there's a really high level of mental impacts coming from bullying, and that 80% of the children that presented to him, would have had bullying, or bullying would have occurred to them. And I suppose with Dr. Briotti as well, that there's high levels with perpetrators as well as victims. So the impacts of bullying, which was sort of surprising to me, is that it impacts on everybody. So from the perpetrators to the victims, and also for bystanders as well, and that the importance of bystanders stepping up and having a say in preventing this type of behaviour. I suppose I really liked your quote, Dr. Noctor, as well, about how it's very important that it's a basic human right and one that we need to take seriously, that we should be able to attend a school or a club free from any sort of hostility or exclusion. The measures that you've mentioned here around training therapists and guidance counsellors and for staff to be emotionally aware, those are things that I would really feel strongly about as well, that I do feel that it is about a positive school environment, that we do need to have anti-bullying policies, and that it's not just a box-ticking exercise. The questions I'd have, I suppose, are potentially number one, I suppose, for Dr. Noctor, just around the school environment and training for staff and students. I suppose I'm curious around mediation training as well. Just, do you have any opinions on the FUSE program that's currently been rolled out by DCU? And then also, what impact do you think should we have for parents' associations or school boards? For Dr. O'Malley, I suppose, again, how do we encourage programs such as FUSE, potentially in regional areas with smaller schools and then larger secondary schools? And then for Dr. Muldoon, just, you mentioned in your opening statement about collecting data from schools to be better able to make decisions. Do you mean in terms of surveys? Thank you very much.
Without speaking to the FUSE program specifically, I think there's two things that we have to make schools accountable, and I think that's where Dr. Muldoon said about, there has to be accountable how we respond to bullying. It's not good enough to just dismiss it or just not be good at it. I think we have to do that. But again, I think we can overburden schools with asking them to get into mediation and get into all these things. If we're going to have an accountability, we have to have resources in place that is going to support the school to be able to do it. So I think it's a two-pronged approach. I think, yes, we can inform teachers on how to better manage it, but we have to have somebody from whom they can hand that over to. Their educators primarily, and again, there's experts in this field. Many are on the screen there today who would be able to help with that. But I do think we can't just say, we tried that, we spoke to the class, I've done my bit, and tick it off. There has to be an accountability of result and outcome, rather than just a tokenistic effort, if that makes any sense.
Thank you, Dr. Noctor. If I might invite Dr. Muldoon and Dr. O'Malley, and just if you could keep it to 30 seconds, I think, apologies, I think the time is going on us. Thank you.
I'll come in quickly, hopefully it'll be short. You asked about the data, Senator. What I'm talking about is since 2013, the department should have been able to gather what incidents of bullying have been going on, and also we need to start drilling down into that. And has that related to racism? Has it related to homophobia? At the moment, bullying can be a catch-all for lots of different issues that need to be dealt with within schools. And we've lost 7 or 8 years now of that sort of data gathering because the department didn't do it. And we need to get into that immediately so that we can have proper disaggregated data and help those individual schools, because there's also successes to be learned from that as well.
Thank you very much. And I suppose...
Thank you. Yeah, I'm not a doctor, Mrs. O'Malley, but I do want to emphasise that the FUSE programme could be the best programme in the whole world, and if it's not executed properly, it's worthless. And asking teachers who might be very, very good at teachers, very good at providing a lovely atmosphere in the class, but can't provide a bullying programme, it's not fair on either. And I think we need to, if we're going to be proactive on this, we need to kind of actually bring in people who can produce good bullying programs, and that could be very much through now Dr. Muldoon's version of having counsellors in every school and making sure that they're very well equipped to roll out a good bullying program.
Okay, thank you very much, and thank you, Chair. I think the only two things I was going to mention, I think, are just the two websites, tacklebullying.ie and I think webwise.ie. I think that was there for online cyberbullying, but might come in again on that if I have time at the end. Thank you very much, Chair.